Chris and Jules here. We're on the promenade deck of the Holland America Eurodam. If you haven't been on a ship before with a good promenade, well, this is why it could be important to you. It's an outdoor space, so cruise ship isn't just about what's going on inside or up on the Lido deck, which is the pool deck, or the sports deck, but this is kind of a relaxing area of the ship where you could spend some time on your sea days or even in the evenings when you leave port. But it's a nice area because you could go do laps around the promenade deck outside and you're kind of walking right along the water, so you get a great view of that. It's generally a quiet area. I don't know if I've ever heard music playing on the outdoor promenade, so you're more in tune with the sounds of the sea or the ocean. On the Holland America ships, there's usually lounge chairs. This particular video was shot leaving Fort Lauderdale, so we were very early in the cruise. The cushions weren't out on all the chairs yet. But that being said, the crew usually starts collecting the cushions off the chairs, usually around the dinner time, around 6:30. It's not that you can't sit on the chairs in the evening, but it just might not be so comfortable. Now, some of the other cruise lines that have an outdoor promenade, most of them are going to collect the chairs in the evening and then they rope them up. At least on this ship, you have the option to sit on some of the wooden benches. The outdoor promenade is usually open 24 hours. However, sometimes it's closed. If they're washing down the deck, it might be closed temporarily. There are really high winds, and sometimes when they're in port and they're lowering tender boats or doing crew drills, you know, they might be closed temporarily. But other than that, they're usually open. Another thing about the promenade deck is it's usually just meant for walks and strolls. It's not really a running deck. If you want a running track, that is usually on the top deck. Here are some other tips about the promenade deck. If it's really sunny out in the daytime, one side might be super hot with the full sun beaming down on you. The other side might have the shade. Great for viewing things like sailways, and if you could catch a glimpse, most of the time there's going to be a local pilot that comes on board, and then as we sail away from certain ports, that pilot climbs down a little ladder off the cruise ship onto the pilot boat. And really, I think the only place I've ever been able to see that happen is when I'm on this promenade deck. If you're really high up, I don't think you could see it just because of the angle. It's also just a nice place to people watch, and usually it's a good place to meet people. You get the fresh air. Anyway, I like the very back of the promenade deck too, just to kind of see where we've been, and you see the wake of the ship, so that's kind of cool. Well, it's just something I enjoy, especially on a sea day. And sometimes the newer, bigger ships just don't have this option, or you can only walk, you know, maybe 50 meters or so. Or on the really big ships, you just get like little glimpses now and then, like maybe 20-30 feet of open air. And then you're back into the covered area or where there's lifeboats in the way. So the nice thing I like about the Eurodam is your views aren't obstructed the whole way around by lifeboats. There's a lot of open air. It's still got that traditional outdoor promenade feel. I do like making these videos because not a lot of the bloggers are making videos on this topic. Let me know, are you an outdoor promenade person or not? I think that people that go on Holland America do care, but there's new guests sailing all the time, so maybe it's a non-issue. I don't know. But I do know that the outdoor space that you're looking for on Holland America ships, in particular the Eurodam, it's a little bit different than some of the outdoor amenities you're going to see in some of the other newer mega ships. Like, you're not going to find a water slide on this ship. You're not going to find a rock climbing wall. You're not going to find an outdoor movie theater. The Holland America ships are a little bit more simpler in terms of their offering, but it really gets you in tune with the sea. So that's what I like about it. Okay, let me know your thoughts.
Cruising is the best.